If you guys lacking coins for all the new cards that are out, then check out mulefactory.com. They're the cheapest site I've found for coins. They deliver in 5 minutes. And if you use TGC Kurt5 at checkout, you get 5% off your order. Check them out with the link down below now. What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new FIFA 17, FIFA 18 kind of video. At the time we're recording, it is 4:30 on transfer deadline day. Now I have seen some hilarious rumours flying around already. We've seen the talks of Danny Drinkwater and Mark Noble to go to Chelsea. What is going on? Llorente is apparently, at the time of recording, hasn't yet, but is apparently close to signing for Tottenham. Some of these deals seem absolutely mental to me. So, I thought it would be quite interesting to look at some of the funniest, some of the weirdest, some of the most bizarre transfers of the window so far, and kind of just see what they might be like on next year's game. Some of these are like weird because of how much money was spent. Some just don't seem to fit the club. A few different reasons, and we're going to go through them one by one and see each one. But before we do actually get into the main bulk of the transfer video, I'm going to tell you guys about OneFootball. This video is officially brought to you by OneFootball, and all the transfer stuff we do will be brought to you by them. They are an amazing iPhone app if you want to keep up to date with all of the football goings-ons. Whether you want to follow all the transfers, which they're amazing for, if you want to see news of your favourite club, scores, all that sort of stuff, OneFootball is the app for you. You need to download it right now. There will be a link in the description to do so. It's available on iOS and Android. It is absolutely brilliant. You can set notifications so you get all your team's news, all transfers, follow it throughout deadline day for the rest of today, and you will not regret it. So click the link down below, but without any further ado, let's get on to our first player, and that is Ederson. Now, you may be thinking, there's nothing really weird about this transfer. I think there is. This guy has gone and cost Manchester City a pretty penny. Being one of the most expensive goalkeepers of all time, he transferred to City for close to 40 million quid. Now, compared to the rest of the window, it doesn't look quite so bad, but for a goalkeeper, that is an insane fee. But I will say, he should be quite exciting on FIFA next year. He looks like an interesting card. The fact he's Brazilian could be really helpful to get some cool hybrids and strong links going on in the BPL. He's going to make, yes, some really interesting defences for next year's game, and hopefully he gets like an 82, 83 rated card. Could end up being unreal, and should be a nice little card for people to use. It's relatively affordable, gets good links, and plays for a good club, but I think he's one of the weirder ones so far. This next one, actually, I wasn't able to put him on the screen, but that is Paulinho. Now we're just going to put in is that the... No, it doesn't come up with someone. We're gonna put in a random Paulinho for now, but I think we all know what's banterous about this one. They have signed Paulinho. He failed to do like 3 keepy-uppies at his unveiling at Barcelona. I apparently seem to not be able to click on you. He was just a joke, really. He has been completely banterous. Literally looks ridiculous, but he's a Brazilian again in Barcelona and could be quite interesting for a cheap player if you need to link some Barcelona players up, if you want to La Liga with the Brazil sort of thing. It could be quite exciting, but in terms of football has to be one of the most banterous ones of the window for sure. It just doesn't seem to make sense. But you do find that very frequently you just get complete banter from one of the bigger sides. Like if you think Real Madrid with players like Jonathan Woodgate and Julian Faubert, those big Spanish clubs do make some weird signings sometimes, but this Paulinho one for me has to be one of the weirdest. Next up, we're going to go to Renato Sanches. I'm just going to stick him in our defence just because there's not enough defenders and there's quite a few midfielders. But Renato Sanches has signed for Swansea on a 1-year deal on loan. I think that is absolutely fan-flipping-tastic. It's an amazing signing for them. He could be getting some game time all season long, but it also means we're going to get a nice little beast in the BPL. Now, obviously, on the surface, this seems like a ridiculous signing. It doesn't seem to make any sense. But when you think who the manager is, it's Paul Clement. He has been the assistant manager to Carlo Ancelotti. He is assistant manager at Bayern Munich. That he's been around. He's done his bit. He's also, which is why they got Tammy Abraham, used to be assistant manager at Chelsea. This guy is like the ideal assistant manager. People loved him. That's why he moved on to a managerial job, and he knows what he's doing. Knows how to like cultivate a player. And that's why they're doing so well with getting their loans, because managers that he's friends with are all happy just to give Renato Sanches, to give Tammy Abraham, to give these players off to him, to give them a chance to try and cultivate them. And I think hopefully Renato Sanches could absolutely set the world on fire in the Premier League, and he's going to be sick on FIFA. This guy was like the beast that everyone would put in their squads last year. You'd try and hybrid him and Kante together. You don't need to anymore. He's in the BPL. We're going to have some crazy BPL sweat teams. It's going to be absolutely flipping unreal. Next up, we have John Terry. This is just like, this is banter central. He's joined Aston Villa this summer, and it's not really started too well for him, has it? So, Aston Villa, as it stands, are currently in the Championship, and they have won 1, drawn 2, lost 2, conceded 9 goals in 5 games. It's a pretty poor ratio of 2 goals a game. There's not many sides that have done that poorly. John Terry has gone to the Championship, and I think he's going to be an absolute train wreck. The guy doesn't have any pace. He's not going to be able to deal with any defenders, and I just think that is one of the most banterous signings, because I think, personally, it was his time to retire. I don't think he's the sort of centre-back that can really keep going without pace. I think he's going to struggle. I think it's going to be a very, very long season for him in Birmingham. Playing for Aston Villa, it's going to be very, very tough. Next up, we have the most banterous of them all. That is Carl Jenkinson. Not only did this guy go on loan to Birmingham City with Cohen Bramall, this guy taking a massive step down to go and play for Birmingham, he lasted 30 minutes before being recalled. I'm not even kidding. He dislocated his shoulder and we've recalled him so he can use our medical stuff instead. He lasted 30 minutes on loan at Birmingham and he's already come back. That has to be one of the worst transfers of all time. The lad's career in the Premier League is over. All he can hope for now is like League 1, League 2. Otherwise, this guy is going to be hitting an early retirement. There's no way he belongs in a mid-tier side. He had the 2 seasons on loan at West Ham. Wasn't really convinced. Really struggled last year every time he came in. He deserves to play at just a really bottom-end Championship side or a top-end League 1, because he just hasn't been good enough for a long time. And to have your loan cut short after 30 minutes, poor guy is going to really struggle to get a break, because that is absolutely ridiculous. Next up, we have another insanely banterous transfer. This is Ruben Neves to Wolves. This guy was the youngest ever captain in the Champions League. He is an incredible potential wonder kid. Everyone has been hyping this lad up for years and years, and he's ended up at Wolves. Now, it's got a lot to do with his agent. The agent, I'm not sure if he's is good friends with the owner at Wolves or whatever it is, but they've got some good Portuguese players from it. And it's just, that's the way it's worked. Football's all about who you know, not what you know. It just is the way it worked. And Ruben Neves has got this move to Wolves. They've started the season off fantastically. He got a goal, I think, 2 weeks ago in the midweek. They've done really well. I think they lost at the weekend. But they are quite high odds now to actually go up and get promoted from the Championship. So it's an interesting signing. He could be a Premier League player next year. But you would not have expected him to go to Wolves, considering just exactly their situation at the time. Next up is another one that is happening on deadline day. I'm not sure if it's officially confirmed yet, but it looks as though it's happening. I don't think my button's working properly. But anyway, we have Gregor Kutrovic. Completely butchered his name. He has just signed on loan for West Bromwich Albion. If I actually put him on the screen, you'll see there. That to me just shows the Pulis effect. You would not have thought that a PSG player, I think he got in the Euros Team of the Year in 2016. You would not think he'd then go and be playing for Tony Pulis at West Brom. But they're doing statements of intent. They really are looking exciting. They're signing some proper players. And Gregor Kutrovic, he could be really exciting in the Premier League. I'm excited to see just how he does, if he's going to be any good. Arsenal always lose to West Brom as well, so that'll be fun when he ends up probably scoring a last-minute winner or something insane like that. But it's not a signing you'd expect, and I think he'll be quite fun for FIFA 18 too. A relatively cheap, quite OP defensive midfielder, should be decent. Next up, we have Wesley Sneijder. Now, this one wasn't too bad. It was more I quite liked this transfer. He's gone on a free to Nice, but the funny thing is he bought his own contract out. So he was so desperate to leave that he paid 4.5 million euros to buy himself out of the rest of his contract so that he was a free agent. I don't really understand why. Surely someone like Nice could have stumped up the 4.5 million quid. I don't really get it, but he was so desperate to go that he just wanted to leave. So fair play to him, but I think it's going to be exciting. He's going to be back playing like in a more reputable league. Hopefully he can settle in well at Nice. But yeah, it's a bit of a bizarre one. Next up, we have Fabio Borini. Now, AC Milan had bought so well this window.
And then they went and got Fabio Borini. It's such a weird one. You really wouldn't have expected it. He's not had the best couple of seasons, really. And you'd imagine they probably could buy better than him. But no, they wanted the absolute banter merchant himself, Fabio Borini. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a right midfielder, a left midfielder, or a striker on FIFA next year. Whichever one he is going to be interesting. I can't see anyone ever using his card, if I'm completely honest. And it just, yeah, that just stinks of banter all over right there. Next up, we have Llorente. Now, as I said, at the time of recording, this one hasn't actually been confirmed yet. Obviously, he was a Swansea player, and it looks like he's going to Tottenham. Now, he scored 15 goals last season, which did blow me away. It just doesn't seem like the right sort of signing. Like, 15 goals in 28 starts and 5 sub-appearances. It's his second best goal return ever, but is he still good enough? I just don't really know. He's 32 years old, so he's getting on a little bit. Is he worse than Vincent Janssen? I don't know, but it just doesn't seem right to me. I know Tottenham want spare goals, but I'd play Heung-min Son up top if you didn't want Harry Kane to play a particular week. I know it's kind of just like a very good plan B, a second option, but it just doesn't seem right to me. I don't know what it is. Basically, if Arsenal signed Llorente, I'd be upset. I don't know what Tottenham fans are thinking of him. Are they happy or not? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're a Tottenham fan, are you happy with this? I want to know, because to me, I don't think I would be. Last but most certainly not least, though, we've just got to talk about Neymar. This has to be the most banterous of all time. The guy basically broke every version of financial fair play. He got Qatar conglomerates to basically buy out his contract, put him on a free to go to be. It's so weird. This stinks of like lots of dodgy stuff going on there. But the price he's gone for, it has to just be one of the most banterous signings of all time. And that's the only way you can describe it, is with banter. It's going to be exciting on FIFA next year. Some cool players in this team. But that, guys, brings us to the end of this episode. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any really weird transfers you think I've missed. Is there any one that just doesn't seem to suit the club? Any weird way that it's gone about? Just let me know down below if there's any that you think are very interesting. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And also, if you guys didn't know, if Sanches joins another Premier League club, I've got to upload for 45 days straight. So let's hope he doesn't. See you guys later.